What's going on, guys? CG Matt back. You read the title. Today we are tier listing every MLB team. We're about a third of the way through the season, blowing by way too quickly. But there's no better time than the present to tier list some of these MLB teams. As you can see, we have our tiers already written down below. We have World Series or bust. Pretty simple. You make the World Series and you win it, or else it was a failure of a season. You have Ronnie Coleman. These teams are really strong. Lightweight. Belly itchers, they stink at pitching. We need a pitcher. And then the Mendoza line, it's the inverse. They suck at hitting. And then you have You Should Be Ashamed. Yeah, that's led for a couple of teams that are they were supposed to be better than they are. And then we have Reinsdorf, Nutting, and my Monfort, the three worst owners in the sport. All right, don't forget to like, subscribe if you're new around here. We're growing relatively well, and you should be a part of that. We're going to start off with the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are belly itchers. They have the hitting. Corbin Carroll is an MVP candidate. Eugenio Suarez is hitting a bunch of tanks this year. They have a bunch of guys who can hit. Marte is back. Perdomo's having a great year. Moreno's coming around. They have a bunch of guys having great years. But then you have Erod, who's obese to say the least. Zach Gallen's okay. Corbin Burns is turning it around slowly, but that's one pitcher out of 5. Brandon Pfaadt is okay. Ryan Nelson had his first start yesterday, I believe. He was okay. Their bullpen's okay. It's the pitching is just generally okay, and it just doesn't make up for the fact that Erod is on the damn roster, and it's a bunch of bad pitchers combined with an elite lineup. I think they need one more arm. Either that or somebody like Pfaadt's got to step up and be like the next level. You know what I mean? But overall, the D-backs still look all right. It's just they don't look as good as I kind of thought they would be, but also they play in an absolute hell zone of a division where you can't afford to have a bad pitcher take the mound when you face the Dodgers. Erod can't be out there facing Ohtani, Freeman, Betts, because that'll be an 8-earned run game. But overall, Tim Tawa's been really good for them. They aren't a bad team. They just play in an absolute bloodbath of a division right now. Up next, we have the Atlanta Braves, who I think are, they're okay. I'm still going to put them in You Should Be Ashamed. Right, they're picking it up. I think they're back over 500. That's good news. But overall, they have some weird losses, and I'm starting to really question Snitker. Early in the season, my best friend was like, yo, he's not it. He should be fired. And I was like, whoa, we're 20 games in. We're about 50 games in, and I'm starting to see the vision a little bit. For instance, he still loves to throw Rafael Montero in the 8th inning. When their best bullpen arm has been Daysbel Hernandez, they still turn to Rafael Montero in the 8th. They go to Añel de los Santos in big spots. Dylan Lee is good. Daysbel is good, but he still just doesn't go into that reliever bag enough. Daysbel Hernandez needs to be the 8th inning guy when Raisel Iglesias really becomes... I think Raisel Iglesias can still end up having a good season. He's just not having a great one right now. But somebody like Daysbel Hernandez needs to be used in higher leverage and stop with the Rafael Montero. All right? Enough Rafael Montero. And then you flip over to the hitting side of the ball, and it's okay, you're having a decent Matt Olson season, a good Marcell Ozuna season. Who else having a good year? Drake Baldwin off the bench and Sean Murphy. Your catcher core's actually been all right with those two. But then Ozzy Albies has been bad. The middle infield has been bad. Nick Allen, for as fun of a player as he is, he's not a day-to-day starter. Corner outfield spots without Acuna. Jared Kelenic, bad, not hustling. Snitker might be racist for not benching him. Personally, Jared Kelenic's not even a Major League Baseball player, in my opinion. He doesn't deserve a roster spot anymore. That's a different discussion altogether. But their hitting is so suspect, and the pitching... Snitker doesn't go to the right arms consistently enough for my liking. That's all I'm going to say. You should really be ashamed of yourself. The Baltimore Orioles. What the hell? I picked this team to win the division. The division. They might win 50 games. I'm actually just so disappointed with them. And obviously it's the pitching. We all know it's the pitching. The offense hasn't been ideal. Gunnar Henderson's not playing at the MVP level we've been expecting. But they still have guys who produce. O'Hearn, Mountcastle, Cedric Mullins. A lot of guys in their lineup still produce. The pitching. You have 3 pitchers with over a 5 ERA. All right. Felix Bautista is still a very good closer. You can't get to your closer when you give up 8 runs in 4 innings because Charlie Morton's out there giving up bad start. All right, then you go to Cade Povich. He's a bad pitcher. It's just a bad rotation. And Tomoyuki Sugano is like 35 years old, and he's supposed to be their ace. It's disgraceful, disgusting, malpractice. Getting rid of Brandon Hyde. People say Brandon Hyde was one of the problems, not the problem. Cool. You didn't solve the problem either way. The problem is the front office. You lost Corbin freaking Burns for nothing, and then you replaced him with Chuck Morton and Tomoyuki Sugano. That's just malpractice. That's malpractice right there. And by now I'd thought Kyle Bradish would be back and Grace Rodriguez would be part of the rotation. Neither one of them's part of the rotation yet, and I'm not sure when they will be. So I'm at the point where I'm just kind of over it. I picked them to win the division, and this is what the hell they've come out here with. It's embarrassing, man. And as badly as Hyde was, he wasn't a perfect manager. But whoever put this damn roster together needs to be tossed off the roof of the stadium. This is criminally bad as a rotation. Maybe they just really need Colton Cowser back. I have no idea. But as for right now, there's no fix coming for this Baltimore Orioles team. If anything, they're closer to rebuild than buyers. And that's embarrassing because this was a team that a few years ago lost 100 freaking games, and now it seemed like they were really trending upward. And malpractice in the front office tanked this team immediately. Just as soon as they started building upward, the front office swept the legs out from underneath them and sent them right back down to the floor. Embarrassing franchise. The Red Sox, they're belly itchers. They're 500 at the time of recording. It's not a bad 500. They're not a horrible team, but they have 2 good pitchers. 2. Tanner Houck is awful. Brian Bayo isn't that good. What are we doing with this Lucas Giolito shit? Relying on Lucas Giolito in 2025 just ain't it, bro. He hasn't been good since Tim Anderson was good, right? And he's been bad for a few years now. Patrick Sandoval is going to come back. Is that a fix-all? Fuck no. Walker Buehler, mid at best. All right, I'm not high on any other pitching staff. I've been saying it since the beginning of the season that they have 2 good pitchers. I love Garrett Crochet. He's a Cy Young, one of the favorites right now. Fantastic season from Garrett Crochet. And then on top of that, what's his name? Not Dick Fitz. I don't even know who I'm talking about. Hunter Dobbins has been all right. This team it's 2 good pitchers. It's 2 good pitchers, and they have a really good lineup, though. Christian Campbell is a front runner for AL Rookie of the Year. He's probably going to win it, in my opinion. He's been fantastic. Devers is turning it around. Bregman's an MVP candidate, but the pitching is bad. That's just what it is. If they be well over 500, if A, their bullpen could finish a game, they have the most blown saves in baseball, and B, if their starting rotation wasn't just mid to bad and one really good pitcher at the top. All right, the Red Sox would be a great team. I think, in my opinion, I would move some of their prospects for another pitcher. They have so many prospects. Christian Campbell's taking picks at first base so that they can call up Roman Anthony, and they still have more in the minor leagues, right? I think they should swing for a pitcher at midseason. Cubbies are a team that I think they look really strong. They're definitely going into the Ronnie Coleman section, but they need another pitcher. I believe Shota Imanaga is down now. Justin Steele's been mid. Jimbo Tyone has been mid. Shota Imanaga has been their ace, and same with, who's the other one? The former Guardian, Matt Boyd, former Tiger as well, I believe. He's been fantastic. Colin Ray's thrown good innings for them, but overall, it's an all right pitching staff, but I don't know if I trust Colin Ray long term. You know what I mean? I'm a really big fan of their offense, though, bro. King Tuck crushes baseballs. He's going to get a bag this offseason. Carson Kelly, 30-year-old, having his best year as a pro. Dansby Swanson has, I believe, double-digit home runs now. Kyle Tucker just went yard. I'm literally watching the game on my phone. He just went yard again. Kyle Tucker's insane. The Cubs look strong, but they need another pitcher, in my opinion. Reinsdorf, nutting in my Montfort. It's the White Sox. They're one of the 3. Jerry Reinsdorf still doesn't know how to run a team. This team is awful, once again, as per usual. I think we expected that, though. Pitching staff, mid. Hitting, very bad. Luis Roberts saying, I don't know who would want to trade for me. All-time quote right there. All-time quote in MLB history, in my opinion. The White Sox are just the White Sox. I don't know when they'll be good again. There's hope. Just keep playing my boy with the funny name. What's his name? I'm talking about Tim Elko. I knew his last name was Elko. Didn't know his first name. I forgot his first name. It's Elko. Tim Elko. Keep playing him. He's been bad. I don't really care. What do you have to lose? It's just a fun name. Are you going to keep starting the captain Andrew Vaughn out there? Okay. All right, on to the next team. It's the Reds. Their hitting is so in and out. So in and out. They will go for a stretch where they look fantastic with Noelvi Marte. When Noelvi Marte was producing, they looked really good. Gavin Lux was turning around. Austin Hayes was very good. And then they go through stretches where they're just getting shut out every game, it feels like. Their pitching staff's been good, even though Hunter Green's been down. Nick Lodolo stepped up in a big way. I mean, since Will Benson's come up, he's been electric again. But like TJ Friedel's in mid-bat. Matt McClain's having a bad year. Spencer Steer, I love Spencer Steer. He's so... Like, he can play anywhere, play first, play outfield, play third, for all he cares. He's just a ball player, but he can't hit right now. And it doesn't help. Their lineup's very anemic right now. Not very good. Tito Francona, you got to get back in there in the hitting cages and teach these youngsters how to hit. I don't know. Ellie's having a mid-year too. Weird team. Really weird team. You'd think them playing at a really hitter-friendly ballpark would help them out. Not really so far. Cleveland is a scary team where their run differential, if you look at it, isn't good, but they're like 5 games over. Like, they're fine, but they're weirdly not great. I don't know, man. Their pitching staff is mid as hell. Their bullpen, oh God, Clase hasn't been great. So they're moving to different roles, and they're trying to find a way to help him pick it up again. But overall, it's just a really weirdly built team. Carlos Santana's turning around, and he was a guy who I was really happy. He just hit a homer as well today. Carlos Santana's a guy who I've been rooting for a while. I'm a big fan of his. Would have liked to see him start a little bit better, but he's turning around now. Manzo's been fantastic, but like Bo Naylor can't hit. Their middle infield just can't hit. You know, Rocchio, and who's the other one? I'm thinking of Gabriel Arias. But I'm pretty sure they took him out, and they have somebody else starting at second now. It's Schneemann, who's picked it up recently. Their hitting, I still think, is just not great overall, though. So, yeah, but they're not the team to go get a bat at midseason. It is what it is. Their pitching staff hasn't been ideal. I wouldn't say it's per se been terrible either, though. Like Ben Lively's had a good start. Tanner Bybee's been bad, and that's supposed to be their ace. That's tough. But their bullpen has some good players. Like, Cade Smith is legit good. It's a weird team. Really weird team. Don't know how to feel about them. Shout out to my GOAT, Jose, though. Jose's really turning it around this year. He had a slow start, but I'm waiting for it. He's over like the last 15 games, he's hitting like 390 or something like that. He's turning it around and picking it up back into that MVP form we know he has. I'm rooting for them because of Jose, really only. That's my favorite player in ball, so yeah, I cheer for him. Here's 2/3 of the bottom row. That is Mr. Dick Monfort. Isn't it funny how it's Bob Nutting and Dick Monfort? A lot of penis jokes going on with the bad MLB teams. This team is awful. I watched them against the Phillies the other night, and they were up 3-1 or something like that in the 8th. It unraveled. They lost like 8-3. Schwarb's hit number 300 on them. Oh, God. That was an ugly. They just couldn't get outs late in that game. They just couldn't buy outs. I was really rooting for them to win that game, and they didn't. They're a bad team, like all-time bad. They're going to finish all-time bad. I don't know what else to say about that. They got nothing to be really excited about. How about this team? You know what? I will put them in World Series or bust. We're at that point with them. The Detroit Tigers have been simply fantastic this year. They're the best record team in the AL. Hitting the ball wise, they have so many quality hitters, to say the least. Like, even their catcher core, whether it's Dingler or Rogers, they both hit well. Torkelson's still mauling the baseball. Gleyber Torres is having a great year. Riley Green's back. Javi Baez is back. Zach McKinstry's having a fine year. Like, they have so many just pretty good hitters right now. This team has it all working for them. And then you think Tarek Skubal is the ace of it all. Tarek Skubal, the best pitcher in the American League, maybe. Reese Olson's having a great year. Jack Flaherty, up and down. He's all right, though. I need Jackson Job, to turn it around a little bit, but overall, it's been a really good one because Casey Mize has stepped up in a big way, and he's a guy that doesn't have overpowering stuff or anything there. It's like, ooh, he's nasty, but he gets the job done, and I'm really happy for the Tigers, man. They've really turned this around, and I think everyone's happy for Javi Baez. Everyone I know and everyone I've talked to about it is happy Javi is back. We love to see it. We just do. Houston Astros, they're the Mendoza line as well because their pitching's been pretty good. Framber Valdez and Hunter Brown. Hunter Brown, man, that was my breakout pitcher of the year, and boy has he. He looked fantastic in the back half of last year, and he's looked fantastic to start this year. He might be the Cy Young favorite to me. I know Max Fried's in there, but let me be honest when I say this. Hunter Brown has been so impressive at every level, striking out a ton of hitters per game. 5.2 hits per 9, 5.2, 0.3 home runs per 9, 0.3. I think that's league leader. Hunter Brown has impressed me beyond belief, but you look at the offensive side of the ball, and I don't want to say it yet, but Christian Walker and Jose Abreu, we're dancing the line here. At least Christian Walker can still pick it a little bit, but his hitting has been atrocious. Yordan's been like bad. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Victor Caratini has given them positive swinging. Like, he's been a good hitter, a positive hitter. I don't know. Weird team. They can't hit. Jeremy Pena. I want to give a big shout out to Jeremy Pena. He's been fantastic this year. This is what we expected last year from Pena. You didn't get it last year, but you're getting it this year. Just sucks. Yordan's bad now. But Pena, since taking over that leadoff spot, has been amazing. The Royals are in the belly, or no. They're the Mendoza line. My bad. They're not the belly itchers because they have Chris Bubich, who's setting records for their franchise's history for the best 6-7 start stretch in their franchise history or whatever. Chris Bubich, man, that was one that everyone was on before the season, and I was like, I'm not seeing it. And somebody like Foolish Baseball was right about him, huh? But what I think everyone was right about was the fact that they literally have 2 good hitters. 2. I put a lot of money in Vinny P this year. I was a big Vinny Pasquantino fan coming into the season. He hasn't been good really at all. But Bobby Witt Jr. and Maikel Garcia are just outright carrying this lineup along with Drew Waters, I think, is having a good year. It's an awful offense. I can't really watch it. It's hard to watch. They should just start playing small ball, dude. You get one single and just bunt them all the way around. I don't know. They're desperate for runs because their pitching has been so good. But Lugo and Reagans have gone down. Curious to see what happens with this team. But with how money their bullpen's been, I don't know. They just really need to hit the ball because their pitching has been good enough to give them enough of a breather with runs. They don't get killed on that side of the ball. Urseg's been fantastic. Carlos Estevez has been fantastic. Dan Lynch is having a decent year. Their bullpen's money. Their starters have been good when they're healthy. They just have 2 good hitters. That's it. 2. Angels are going into you should be ashamed. I kind of drank the Kool-Aid a little bit this offseason. I'm not saying I drank the full cup, but I took a sip. I saw there was some upside with this roster, but of course, Trouty's not playing a ton. He's only played 29 games. I'm looking at it right now. 29 games is not enough out of your best player. And then on top of that, you're getting, I shit you not, you're getting the worst version of Luis Rengifo possible. Joe Adell has gone back to swinging and missing a ton. I was big on Joe Adell last year because of the bat speed, and he was hitting the ball hard. It hasn't really worked out for him. Logan O'Hoppy's been good. I like Logan O'Hoppy and Nolan Shonwell. Zach Neto. I love me some Zach Neto. Their young core is fun, but they spend on a lot of these vets to be complimentary to them, and it hasn't worked because the vets have been just outright bad. You think about Travis d'Arnaud, hasn't been good. I'm thinking about Yoan Moncada's been fine, but you look around and it's Mike Trout's been in and out of the lineup, not really there. Solaire's been bad. Taylor Ward's been around the block and back, and he can't hit still. He has double-digit home runs, and he's still having a pretty bad year in my opinion. Kyron Paris, for how fun he was the first month of the season, hasn't been great either down the stretch. I don't know. The Angels, they have a couple of good pitchers too. I like Tyler Anderson. Jose Soriano is one of my favorite pitchers to watch. He throws bullets. But overall, it's a bunch of players on a roster, but not a collective is the way I describe it. There's a bunch of players here, but they don't play. I don't know. I don't want to make it sound like a Disney movie where it's they're not playing as a team, but it really is the bullpen stinks, the starting rotation's okay, and the hitting, there's 5 good hitters. It's a really, really weird team, and it shows. They're under 500 for a reason. This is nuts that the Dodgers are still leading their division despite being hurt at every position and going on a losing streak. I'm pretty sure they got swept by the Angels, maybe? It might have been. They might have been 2 out of 3. And then they lost 2 days ago to the Diamondbacks. They beat them in 10 last night. That was a fun game. I went to bed after the top of the 10th when Corbin Carroll hit the home run. I had a headache. Boy, do I regret that now. Either way, yeah, they've managed to keep, everyone else at least arm's distance while being the maybe most beat up team in baseball. And I don't want to sympathize with the Dodgers because I hate them outright. They spend a lot of money this offseason, and you got Dodgers fans. You got to know you're just maybe the most hated in baseball, up there with like Astros fans and Yankees fans. Yeah, I'm a Yankees fan. I know. I know the Yankees are hated, but the Dodgers are just the West Coast Yankees. We're the same thing. Miami Marlins, I don't know. I'm going to put them in you should be ashamed, but I don't think they're all that bad. They have a good amount of wins. What are they, like 20? If I had to guess, I'd say like 21. 19. Rats. But they have some fun players, and I'm wondering, are they going to sell on them at the deadline, or are they going to sit on them? Guys like Kyle Stowers, who's had double-digit home runs already this year. He's been super good hitting the ball. Look at his baseball reference. That's a fun baseball reference page to look at. Agustin Ramirez, since he's come up, has been very good. Dane Myers is having it all right here. Their pitching staff is just pretty bad all around. Like Edward Cabrera has been bad. What's his name? Gillespie hasn't been really good either. It's a younger staff, but still not pitching well. Sandy's been bad. I mean, I think Max Meyer's been their best pitcher, and he's like league average. I don't know. It's a weird team. Not as bad as they could have been, though. I'm overall not unhappy with where they're at. Obviously, they're not good, but they're not Rockies, White Sox bad. You know what I mean? There's something there. They can steal a couple of games. They can win a series here and there. They're not like on pace to be awful, just kind of bad. Brewers are in the Mendoza line as well. Boy, oh boy, can they not hit. You scroll down their lineup card and it's like, okay, William Contreras having an all right year. I don't know, Rhys Hoskins has been good. Yeah, he's been pretty good. But their roster altogether has not been very good. Like Jackson Chourio has been really bad. Strikeouts out the you-know-what. Does he lead? No, he's got 48 Ks, though. He leads the team in strikeouts by a wide margin. Bryce Terang's got his bat speed up this year, and that makes me hopeful. He still plays good defense, but yeah, this Brewers team just isn't it. This is the rendition of the Brewers team that I expected last season that wasn't very good. But their pitching staff hasn't been all that bad either. Like Chad Patrick, Freddie P. have been money. They have one more. Who am I thinking of? Quintana. Jose Quintana. Tobias Myers got optioned back down. I think I saw something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. This whole team just hasn't worked out. And I think the biggest thing is because like Jackson Chourio, who was their MVP vote getter and, Rookie of the Year hopeful last year, has been everything, including disappointing. Twins team, I really don't know how to feel. I mean, they put together a good win streak, so I kind of have to give them some respect. But you look at their record against over 500 teams, it's not positive. I think they're like 11-15 or something. It's not awful, but it's not really great either. And wins against 500 teams or better is definitely indicative of something. But I look at their hitting, and it's like Wallner's fine, Jeffers is okay. And then Buxton's been good, but Buxton and Correa went Looney Tunes and high-fived each other with their heads the other day. Harrison Bader's career season is going on, but their pitching has been really stepping up, although they don't really have a defined five-starter, but it's like Joe Ryan, Ober, and Lopez, I think, have been just money still. Their bullpen's been really good, despite Griffin Jax having kind of a step-back season from last year. That comes with Danny Coulombe? I don't know. He's been really good. Yohan Duran has been electric, exactly what they needed. He's been better than last year, Yohan Duran. He's been very dominant, I'll say. But overall, as a team, they're I don't know what to think about the Twins. They're weird. They started out so bad. They corrected back to all right. I don't know where they're going to land at. It's just a weird team. The Mets I'm going to put in Ronnie Coleman because I respect the start, but at the same time, the offense of recent has looked really bad. Pete Alonso in general. Pete Alonso's looked bad everywhere. He had a throwing error yesterday as well against the Red Sox. He had a throwing error against the Yankees. His hitting is back down to earth. He's not hitting like, prime Bonds anymore. Juan Soto is a weird player because right now it looks like he's content taking walks in a lineup that needs more than just a walk right now. Francisco Lindor has been pretty bad. The Mets offense has been very bad of recent. I don't know if that's just an of recent thing, though. That's why I put them in Ronnie Coleman, because they still looked really strong to start. I'm just not sure about it now. Like, Winker's out. So, I'm not sure where to put them. I put them here just kind of out of respect for where they started. But if you want them lower, I can also respect that. The Yankees are in World Series or bust every year, in my opinion. You're the Yankees. You spent this much money on a roster. You better win something. But you look at all the contributions they've gotten. Paul Goldschmidt's been electric. Cody Bellinger owns the Mets. Aaron Judge is Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge hit an absolute bomb down the right field line yesterday. It went like 580 feet. Just kidding. It went 320. Fun home runs. I love those ones. Get porched. But the Yankees are a fun team. They have been all year. Ben Rice is clubbing the ball well. I wish Oswaldo Cabrera got to stay around, because although Oswaldo's like mid and okay at best, he's still really good at fielding, and he can play anywhere. That's versatility. Shout out to my guy, Yorbit Vivas. He had a really good at-bat, a couple of really good at-bats recently. He had a really high OBP down in the minors, so I'm curious to see if he can live up to that in the majors. Overall, even the pitching staff's been all right. Max Fried is a Cy Young hopeful. The bullpen's starting to come around. Luke Weaver's been money all year, but like Devin Williams is slowly turning around. Tim Hill is all right. They got a bunch of bullpen pieces. Jonathan Loaizaga is back and pitching well. I like where the Yankees are at right now. Oakland is in the belly itchers category because their pitching is just really bad. I predicted that at the beginning of the season. I kept saying that at the beginning of the season to people, that this team can hit. They can. Blade, Rooker, what the hell is his name? Lawrence Butler's there, but Soderstrom's been good. Langeliers been good. Jacob Wilson got hurt yesterday, but he's been good. They have so many decent hitters to great hitters. Their pitching's awful, and that's been the case this year, outside of like Mason Miller and some of their bullpen pieces. The Phillies just win. I thought they were kind of old and maybe they'd age out of this. You know what I mean? Like, they are an older core team, but they just win. They piece together wins, and it's their pitching staff. Christopher Sanchez kind of got mauled the other day by the Rockies. Not a great look. Then you have Jesus Luzardo the next day. Like, it is literally just all-star after all-star after all-star after all-star after all-star in the rotation. Taijuan Walker's pitching really good right now. I don't know what that's about. Suddenly he can pitch. Beats me. But like Wheeler, Luzardo, Sanchez, Suarez, and Nola when he gets back. But it's a never-ending rotation, it feels like. And even in the back of their bullpen, Romano's okay. Alvarado, Jose Alvarado. Ozempic, bud. I don't know. It's weight loss supplements. What kind of weight loss supplements has steroids in it? I have no idea. Weird situation that is. Pittsburgh, there's 3/3. That's Bob Nutting's team. Listen, the team's so bad, you have fans jumping from the stands to try and end it. I'm kidding. Some people, you shouldn't kid about that situation. The guy's an idiot, all right? I'm just going to come out and say it. He was an idiot, right? This team is awful. Again, at every facet. They're talking about Paul Skeens might get traded. That would be an embarrassment to the organization if he were to get traded. And that's what's wrong with baseball, in my opinion, is you have a team like the Pittsburgh Pirates maybe not even committing to Paul Skeens long-term, who's been the best pitcher in their franchise's history since who? Since who? I don't know. What was the last ace they had? What's his name? The former Yankee was there for a while. I'm forgetting his name already. Who else there? Garrett Cole was there. Tyler Glasnow wasn't really an ace there. Garrett Cole wasn't really even an ace there either. I don't know, man. They haven't had good pitching in a little while, and this is what's wrong with baseball. I was making that point. I kind of dropped it, but that's what's wrong with baseball is that they talk about Paul Skeens might get traded, and the immediate thought is, what can the Yankees put together for him? What are the Dodgers going to send for him? What are the Cubs going to send? Every small market team that gets a good player, it eventually devolves into trade value and what prospects from this big market team will they give up to get this player. It's because these small market teams don't spend, blah, blah, blah. We've been down this alley 100 times. It's embarrassing to the sport. Bob Nutting's an awful owner. End of sentence. The Padres of recently haven't looked as strong, but they still aren't a bad team per se. You can't convince me this is a really bad team. Merrill, Machado, Tatis have all been really good. Sheets, Cronenworth's been all right when he's been on the field. they have some really bad hitters. Xander Bogaerts is just a bad player at this stage in his career. I'm going to keep saying that I don't believe in Xander Bogaerts at all. But their pitching staff's been all right. Like Mike King's been money. Nick Pivetta moved to the NL and suddenly he can pitch well again. Shout out Steven Kolek. He got that shutout in his first career start. You know, they have a good pitching staff, obviously a good bullpen. But their hitting's been kind of mid, but they still look strong regardless. They might put together a good package for a hitter at midseason, but it's tough with that Xander Bogaerts deal on the books because he's been bad. Here is your third NL West team in the Ronnie Coleman or higher section, the San Francisco Giants. Their lineup looks really good. Adames is starting to maybe turn around, but like Tyler Fitzgerald's been really good. Yastrzemski's been really good. Matt Chapman is consistently one of my favorite players in baseball. I've said that for years now. Wilmer Flores had that 8 RBI game against the A's. That was all-time funny to me, in my opinion. Hilarious game. Their pitching staff's been mixed bag. Robbie Ray, Logan Webb as your top two is a fun rotation. And Logan Webb's been on the money this year. Their bullpen's been good. Their starting rotation, though, I'm looking at it right now. ERA plus in their rotation. You got Verlander at an 89 ERA plus. You have Jordan Hicks, who shouldn't even be a starter anymore, 59 ERA plus. Landon Roop, 94 ERA plus. He's thrown a couple of good starts. I don't want to dump on him that bad. I believe Hayden Birdsong's moving into the starting rotation. That could really help out. Yeah, their bullpen's been on the money, and their hitting's been doing well, so it's kind of been carrying them. But their starting rotation really needs to step it up. But otherwise than that, I'm not going to throw them into the belly itchers category because they've looked better than every team in the belly itchers category so far. The Seattle Mariners are a weird team because I'm not going to put them in belly itchers category. I got to put them in Ronnie Coleman because they have looked pretty good to start. You know, their pitching staff has some weird misses. Bryce Miller and Emerson Hancock. Hancock's looked especially bad. He's getting his Hancock chopped off. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that one. But their pitching staff has some really good pieces, obviously. Brian Wu, Luis Castillo's all right. And then also, like, Gilbert's going to be back to throwing more innings. They got, Logan Evans, I think is his name. He's been all right. Like, it's a decent little rotation. And they've looked really good on the offensive end. Cal Raleigh's awesome. J.P. Crawford. I've been waiting on J.P. Crawford's hitting consistency breakout for a couple of years now. I pray to God it's this year. Rowdy Tellez is giving you plus plate appearances, I guess. Of course, Julio's there. Randy's been one of the most clutch hitters in ball, along with Cal Raleigh, who's also been another really clutch hitter. Dylan Moore is hitting the ball really well. Who was that other? Ben Williamson or whatever? He's all right. Like, they have a decent team. They look strong. I can't knock them. I can't hate on this team. They looked all right. I didn't even mention Andres Munoz, and I feel like I should. He has yet to allow a run, I don't think. 0 earned runs on ledger for Andres Munoz this year. That is incredible. I don't even know what to say. A FIP at a 1.68. He's been money, and this is his year. Every year there's a different reliever who pops up and just has that year. Last year, I wouldn't say it was a pop-up for Class A, but last year was the year of Class A. This year looks like the year of Andres Munoz or Luke Weaver. I don't know where to put the Cardinals because they don't fit into any of these tiers, really. I wouldn't say they look really strong. Like, they look good, but I wouldn't say they look amazing. They obviously aren't belly itchers because they have, like, Liberatore, who's pitching well. Sonny Gray's been, like, okay. Eric Fetty's been okay. Miles Michaelis has strung together his last few starts and looked really strong. I don't know where to put them. You know, even their bullpen-wise has looked really good. Keith Leahy? Weird name. Don't like how to pronounce it, but he's been incredible this year I mean, there's no other word to describe it than incredible or, like, awesome. He's been great. Palante hasn't even been bad. Steven Matz pitched good innings. I don't know what to say about this team. They don't really fit into any category. I guess I'm going to have to put them in strong. I guess, because their hitting's pretty good too. My guy Ivan Herrera's back and looking decent. Contreras turned it around a little bit. Brendan Donovan looks good. Newt Barr looks good, as per usual. He's maybe one of the most consistent players in baseball, right up there with, like, Ian Happ, talking about Lars Nootbaar. Nolan Arenado doesn't look bad. Like, this is a weird team, and I don't know where to put them, so I'm just going to have to kind of put them in the they look strong section. They look decent. The Rays, they're going to be in you should be ashamed, but I don't think I really had many expectations for them. I predict them to be the worst team in the division, and they aren't. They aren't bad. They just aren't really good either. Weird team, the Rays. I don't really watch them a ton, all things considered, because they aren't really that good. But I know their hitting's like Aranda. You know, they got some plus hitters. DeLuca's been all right, I think. Their pitching staff has a couple of good, like Rasmussen has been really good. It's just a weird team, man. I wanted Pepio to be better than this. The Texas Rangers are the Mendoza line. They're another team where it's like they got 3 good hitters. That's about it. Seager, Langford, Young, I think he's been good. That's about it. Josh H. Smith has been good. Their pitching's been good. Malley's been good. Evaldi's been good. DeGrom's been good. Like, they have been a very good pitching staff. Their hitting just hasn't come around yet. I don't know if it will, though, because Marcus Semien doesn't look good. Adolis doesn't really look good. I don't know who else to really depend on. Jock might be turning it around, but he has been atrocious. I genuinely don't know. The Rangers are in a weird spot as well. Toronto Blue Jays. Their hitting's mid. I can't lie to you. Vlad has been closer to 2023 than 2024 Vlad, and that's disappointing as hell. You still haven't really gotten good production from Bo Bichette this year. George Springer is back. That's fun. He's hitting the ball hard again. But like Anthony Santander, what the hell was that? I'm looking at the Rangers logo. That's why. Anthony Santander has been a really bad contract so far for them. Like I said, I'm not sure what to believe with this team. Andres Jimenez, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get soft back contact with a good glove, and that's what he's been. I'm rooting for Kirky. I'm a big Alejandro Kirk guy. He's having an okay season. Not a great one, though. I don't know. Their offense is just really not great. Nathan Lucas is all right, I guess. That's a takeaway I got, and maybe Varsho needs to play more, but I don't know. But also their pitching's been really bad. I think I'm going to move them up because their pitching's been worse than their lineup, because at least their lineup has like 4 good hitters. Their rotation has like 1 to 2 good starters. I would say that, what the hell is his name? Chris Bassett has been money, and then not Yariel Rodriguez. Jose Barrios has been all right. Yariel Rodriguez has been good, though. I just checked. I don't know. Their pitching staff has been very bad. Kevin Gausman is really bad. A weird team. Another weird team where it's like I'm not quite sure how to feel about them because their hitting is very in and out, but their pitching is also in and out. I don't know. Last and certainly least, it's the Nationals, and I'm not sure where to put them either because their hitting, they have 2 hitters over an OPS plus, I believe, in their starting lineup. Yep, Abrams, Wood. That's it. And then you go to their bench. Ahmed Rosario. Are we moved? I'm not. And then you go to the pitching side. It's, Irvin and Mackenzie Gore. And then their bullpen's been all-time bad except for like Kyle Finnegan. They're bad at hitting and pitching, but they have over 20 wins. Again, it's another team where it's like, hey, man, they're not as bad as I thought. I don't know where to put them. Nationals fans, talk to me down in the comments. What's worse, the pitching or the hitting? I'm going to have to go with the pitching just because their bullpen's been really, really bad as well. I don't know. The Nationals are an oddly bad team. CJ Abrams is having a crazy season. Love to see that. But like I said, their pitching, well, I'll walk you down right now. ERA pluses from the Washington Nationals starting pitchers. You got Irvin at a 105, Gore at a 111, Mitchell Parker at a 93, Trevor Williams at a 69. That is not nice. And Mike Soroka at a 69 as well. Also not nice. Bullpen-wise, this gets uglier. Finnegan's at a 162. I told you Kyle Finnegan's been money. But Jose A. Ferrer, 68. Jorge Lopez, 63. Eduardo Salazar, 42. Lucas Sims, 30. Brad Lord, 81. Colin Posh, 37. Orlando Ribalta, I don't even know who that is, 72. I'm losing all brain function trying to talk about this team. Let me know down in the comments, Nationals fans. I really don't know how to feel about them. If you enjoyed these rankings, subscribe. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to go catch the game. I'll see you guys in the next one.